don't know about you guys, but this game just hits very different for me. Arc Raiders is such an approachable and fun version of an extract shooter with such great audio design, and the community is actually like thriving right now. In solos, you're kind of just helping each other out. In trios, it gets a little bit more gunny, but ultimately, like, this game is doing great. It's spiking in popularity literally every 4 days. But that doesn't seem to be enough, at least not for Eurogamer, who wrote one of the most egregiously bad reviews that I have seen in a hot minute. All these game critics and journalists, I don't really take them ultra seriously, but at the end of the day, when you see a huge amount of people kind of saying the same thing about a game, it usually does actually have some substance to it. And that's why I actually like Metacritic, because it has a user score and then it also has a score of reviews from critics. And in the critic reviews, you can see Eurogamer just brought down the score pretty measurably because the majority of these are pretty favorable. I mean, it's based on 40 reviews. It has an 85. Everybody pretty much generally likes the game. It's a solid B+, A- game for most reviewers. I'm not going to go line for line with this because it is just a bad review that I personally don't even think resonates or even brings out the best of Arc Raiders, which places Arc Raiders somewhere between Concord and Mind's Eye, a smartly designed extraction shooter marred by one inexcusable decision: gross the machine. Rich PvE combat and an unusually friendly community make Arc Raiders more approachable extraction shooter than most, but Embark Studios continued the use of AI voice generation is a black mark against its reputation. Essentially, he really just talks about the looting mechanics, how it's really structured like most extraction shooters. He likes the quirkiness of things like a rooster, Scrappy. It has cool doohickeys and gadgets, and the Arc are extremely dangerous and kind of foster a new community vibe for extraction shooters, which I completely agree with. Ultimately, he doesn't talk about the audio design, which is actually really well done, and I almost want to say he kind of doesn't want to compliment the audio design because of his gripe with the AI, but the audio design on this game is like one of a kind. He fails to mention that, or the fact that most extract shooters come with the stigma of being extremely taxing and no-lifing, unemployed almost. He never spoke about the expedition system, which kind of acts as like a self-wiping, almost like prestige mode, where you get really big XP boosts or like account buffs if you do reset on your own, making the quality of the game for new players better. But he did manage to go on to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 paragraphs about how the AI generation is not good for the game. And the problem here is that I don't disagree with him. Arc Raiders launch has been so successful, Embark could have hired a team in live voice actors and still made a gargantuan amount of profit while benefiting from more memorable characters as a result. I don't disagree with this particular statement. And honestly, this is why there should be somewhat of a blemish. And I get it. It's not even like a narrative driven game. Like, it's not like Expedition 33 did this, because one of the biggest parts of the charm of that game is the voice acting. It's insanely good. But if you look at the contributions of like Jeffrey Steitzer for Halo's multiplayer, it feels real. It feels like he knows what it's like to get a triple kill or a kill-tacular, or, you know, get betrayal. But at the end of the day, it's a small squeaky wheel on a very fast and clean ride. If I was to revise this, it would probably be Mind's Eye is a 1, Concord's a 2, Arc Raiders is a 4, but there's a huge blemish and a caveat that's really called out in this article that says that they are using AI and it's a slippery slope. And the further we go down that road and the more people utilize AI in ways that seem untasteful or to cut corners for the quality of the game, then I will call it out. But ultimately, I don't think that's going to be a 2 out of 5 situation. And I get it, he's a journalist, and journalists shouldn't like things like ChatGPT because it's not something that's always useful to them, and ultimately it kind of pulls from their thoughts and ideas. But these 9 paragraphs feel more like a journal entry than they do an actual review.